Hi, I'm Eleanor, an athletic trainer at Towson Sports Medicine. Today, I will take you through a dynamic warm-up and a quick strengthening program for Towson United. A dynamic warm-up will increase your blood flow, elevate your body temp, and enhance your body's mobility. All right, for our first exercise of the dynamic warm-up, we're gonna have our athletes jog down to the last set of cones, turn around, and jog back, increasing their speed as they turn around. Ready, go. Great, you can do 2 sets of those. For our next exercise, we're gonna have the athletes do high knees and butt kicks. They're going to do high knees to the last set of cones, turn around and do butt kicks. You wanna keep your chest up and you wanna drive your knees to your chest on the high knees, alternating arms and legs. As you turn around, you wanna complete butt kicks, bringing your heel to your butt, pumping your arms. You can do that for 2 sets. For our next exercise, we're gonna have the athletes open the gate. They're gonna jog to the first set of cones, stop, drive their hip up, out, and back down. They're gonna go to the next cone and alternate legs. This increases one's hip mobility. They're gonna turn around and come back doing the same exercise. You can do this for 2 sets. All right, for the next exercise, we're gonna have the athletes close the gate, the reverse of opening the gate. They're going to jog to the first set of cones, bring their hip out, in, and down, and alternate legs at each cone. They're gonna turn around and do the same thing coming back. You can do this for 2 sets. The athletes will now shuffle down to the last pair of cones. You want your feet shoulder width apart, your chest up in an athletic stance. Once you get to the last pair of cones, you will shuffle back. You can do this for 2 sets. For this exercise, the athletes will run to the second pair of cones, back pedal to the first, and then run forward 2. You will run forward 2 cones, back pedal to 1, and then run forward 2 again. Repeat the exercise and turn around and do it coming back. Again, you want to keep an athletic stance. You want to keep your chest up and your feet shoulder width apart. For this exercise, the athletes will jog to the first set of cones, shuffle in once towards each other, jump, make shoulder contact, and land, shuffling back out towards the cones, then going to the next set. For this exercise, you want your feet shoulder width apart. You want to jump, make shoulder contact, and land on the balls of your feet. You don't want your knees to buckle inward. At the last set of cones, turn back and repeat the exercise. For this exercise, the athletes will jog to the first set of cones, shuffle in towards one another, circle each other, shuffle back, and then jog to the next set. You will repeat this exercise to the end of the cones, turn around, and come back. You can do this for 2 sets. Again, you want to keep an athletic stance, knees bent, chest up, weight on the balls of your feet. You want to keep your center of gravity low. The balance portion of this warm-up will help strengthen your core, stabilize your muscles, and increase your blood flow. For this exercise, the athletes will work on single leg balance. To do this, you want to keep your knees slightly bent, your chest up, and your core tight. Larissa will just be working on her single leg balance. Rory's working on single leg balance while passing the ball around his hips. You can do this for 30 seconds, 2 sets. For this next phase, the athletes will still work on their single leg balance, but this time they will pass the ball between one another. Again, you want to keep your knees slightly bent and your chest up. Do not let your knees buckle inward. You can do this for 30 seconds and 2 sets. For the next progression, the athletes will continue to work on their single leg balance. To do this, you will grab a partner and standing on one leg with your knees bent, your chest up, keeping your core tight, you will try to remain balanced as you lightly tap your partner, trying to throw them off balance. After each tap, you want to regain your balance and then tap your partner. You can do this for 30 seconds for 2 sets. The plyometric portion of this warm-up will help increase your speed and power, allowing your body to produce max force at short intervals. For the next exercise, we will have the athlete work on vertical jumps. To do this, you want your feet shoulder width apart. You're going to squat down till your knees are bent at 90 degrees, jump up, landing on the balls of your feet. You want to land back down in a squat. You want to keep your feet shoulder width apart. You want to keep your chest up and your core tight. You can do this for 30 seconds, 2 sets. Now we will work on lateral jumps. To do this, you want to stand on a single leg, keeping your knees bent and your chest up and your core tight. You will then jump from your supporting leg to your free leg. Again, don't let your knees buckle inward. You want to keep your knees bent, landing on the balls of your feet and your chest up. You can do this for 30 seconds, 2 sets. Next, the athlete should imagine that they are standing in the center of a cross. They are then going to jump forward to the top of the cross and back to center, jump to the right, back to center, jump to the left, back to center, and jump back, and then right back to center. You're gonna do this for 30 seconds, 2 sets. You wanna land on the balls of your feet, keeping your chest up and your knees shoulder width apart. For a proper warm-up, we wanna focus on each major muscle group. To start, we're gonna work on our quads. Quads perform hip flexion and knee extension. To start, we're gonna do body weight squats. You want your feet shoulder width apart, and then you're going to squat down until your knees are bent at 90 degrees. You then want to straighten back up. You can do this for 30 seconds, 2 sets. Do not let your knees buckle inwards as you're squatting down. Next, we're gonna have our athletes perform split squats. To do this, you want to stand on a single leg, lunging backwards until your front knee is bent at 90 degrees. You will then return back to standing. You can alternate legs for 30 seconds, 2 sets. You wanna keep your chest up and don't let your front knee bend inwards. Lastly, for our quads, we will work on a single leg squat. To do this, you will stand on a single leg with your knees bent and your chest up. You will reach forward with your front foot and tap your heel to the ground, returning to a standing position. You can do this for 30 seconds for 2 sets. You want to keep your chest up and make sure your knee does not buckle inwards. The next muscle group we will focus on are hamstrings. Hamstrings perform hip extension and knee flexion. The athlete will now perform glute bridges. Glute bridges work on strengthening the hamstrings. To do this, you want to lay on your back, knees bent to 90 degrees, feet shoulder width apart. You will then drive your hip upwards, keeping your glutes tight. Hold this for 3 seconds and lower back down. You can do this for 30 seconds, 2 sets. Now the athlete will progress to a single leg glute bridge. To do this, you can stay in the same position you were in for the original glute bridge. To do this, you will bring one knee to your chest, driving your hips up through your supporting leg. You can put all your weight on your supporting leg heel. You can do this for 30 seconds, 2 sets, and then alternate legs. For this next exercise, you will grab a partner. Kneeling in front of your partner on a soft surface, have your partner grab the back of your ankles. With your arms out in front of you, lean forward as far as you can, controlling the movement with your hamstrings and your glute muscles. When you can no longer hold the position, gently take your weight onto your hands, falling into a push-up position. You want to complete this exercise for 3 to 5 reps or for 60 seconds. You can do this for 2 sets. For our last muscle group, we will be focusing on our abs. Abs help stabilize the trunk and help you maintain your balance. We're gonna begin with the plank. You're gonna maintain the plank position for 30 seconds for 2 sets. You wanna make sure that your elbows are underneath your shoulders and that your back is straight. We are now progressing to a single leg plank. Keeping your back flat, lift up your back leg. You can hold this for 30 seconds for 2 sets. We are now progressing to a side plank. Keeping your hips in line with your shoulders, raise your hips off the ground, facing one side. Hold this for 30 seconds and then alternate sides. Make sure you do each side for 2 sets. For more information, visit us at towsonsportsmedicine.com/TowsonUnited.